Welcome to CT Collectibles. I am C.
I'm T.
And we'll continue on with our series of our top 5 players at every position with the third baseman. We've got 3 days until the regular season starts on Thursday. So we've got third, short, and outfield. So one a day? The math work out?
Sure.
It does. So yeah, I know you're off of spring break, but you don't have to forget all of everything that you've learned over these past 9 years.
I don't want, but I kind of want to.
No, that's a bad idea. All right, let's get on with it here. So, all right, we're going to start off with a couple players that could probably, they're not in our top 5, but they could probably sneak in there. I mean, they've done it before. They had good years. You know, like Austin Riley had a good year last year, maybe considered a top 5, but he's going to have to do a few things if he wants to repeat his position in the top 5. So here's a couple players that could sneak in there. They're not right now, but there's always questions like, well, what about this or this? It's like, well, there's only 5 spots. We can't get everybody in there, so because it's math. All right. Austin Riley, world champion. Austin Riley last year, over 300 average on a 368 BABIP. Okay, that is elevated. Look for some regression off of something like that. But he was a terrific player. 135 weighted runs created with a career high 33 home runs. A great player. The projection systems are just saying, you know what, that average is going to maybe have to take a break as that BABIP comes down a little bit. So he's a high BABIP guy. He can do it. But last year, like everything fell into place for him. It was a terrific season. But at a 118 weighted runs created with another 33 home runs, what's to say you can't have another terrific season? The one thing that concerns me, can you pick out the one thing that would really concern me about long-term sustainable success? What do you see? High strikeout rate.
Yeah.
You can't be consistently successful with a high strikeout rate. And so if he can get that thing in the next year or two down to that 20%, then we are looking at something more along the lines of a consistently elite level player. So we'll see how it plays out. Maybe this is the year that happens. But as of now, we've got to see him prove it just a little bit. Some of the other guys have proven it, and that's why they are ahead of him, including
you only like K
this
percentage.
person.
You only like strikeout percentage when you're a pitcher.
Well, you like it when you're a hitter, too. You like it low. As a pitcher, you like it high. As a hitter, you like it low. So, all right, Chris Bryant, your newest, one of your newest Rockies. They let Trevor Story go because he's getting expensive, and then they signed Chris Bryant to like the same contract. So that makes sense. Last year, 265 average with a 313 BABIP. That's important to remember when we're talking about going to Coors. I think there's a bit of a misconception when people go to Coors. They think, oh, home runs are going to increase. No, the park factor does not increase home runs. It is a bigger park. However, the BABIP does go up. So we could see a nice bump in average for Mr. Chris Bryant. So he walks 10% of the time, strikes out around 20% of the time. So he's got that really nice profile. 123 weighted runs created, 25 home runs. And his home run to fly ball rate, hard hit rate, you could stand to rise just a little bit. So we'll see what happens. So I think the projections are saying, you know what, if we can get up to that home run to fly ball rate around 20%, then we could see the home runs go up a little bit. And we're seeing that with a projected 28 home runs. Weighted runs created in that 120 area, a very above average third baseman, very fine third baseman, strikeout walk rate, but that BABIP is going up, and we could see a little higher average. So what he did last year looks pretty darn repeatable with even some improvement. So we like Chris Bryant. If you watch our long-term third baseman series that we put out in the fall after the season, we really like Chris Bryant. So I think he's a little bit of an under-the-radar guy. Started out like a shot with a Rookie of the Year, MVP, all that kind of stuff. But
speaking of home runs at Coors Field,
yes,
if you're on the Rockies, like Chris Bryant,
right?
You should know.
Okay.
That it has over 5,000 capacity.
What does?
Coors Field.
Yeah, every field has over 5,000 capacity. I mean, you're really 40 or 50,000 would be.
Oh, wait. No.
Yeah.
56,000.
There you go. That makes more sense. Yeah, 5,000, that's not that big a deal. So, no. But 50,000, that's for a baseball game every day. You fill up 50,000. That is a big deal here. All right, our last player who could sneak into that top 5. Okay, that wasn't there last year or whatever. Projections just have him outside of it. A lot of it, in Anthony Rendon's case, is like, let's see some health. Now, he has been healthy, like 6 out of the last 8 seasons. So, and when he plays, he's in the MVP conversation. So let's see him do his thing and stay healthy. So I really like Rendon when he plays. Last year, hopefully he doesn't get like the injury tag or anything like that, really, because he's been... there was a 5-year stretch where he played most of the games, and he consistently 5, 6, 7 wins above replacement every year. So last year, not a whole lot of games here. So he played like the first 50 or 60 or something like that. So batting average, we almost have to disregard last year because it was a dumpster fire. Okay, But if we look at what he did for his projections, they're looking at him to get somewhat back to what he's done over his career with a 273 average. His strikeout and walk rate are elite level. This is what we're looking for those long-term guys. If I'm going to put money into long-term guys or I'm going to collect long-term guys, I really want to see a consistent profile approach at the plate here. 127 weighted runs created. That really does put him in the top 5 if he's able to do this with 21 home runs. If we look at what he's done for his career, 287 average, that 10 walk 10% of the time, strikeout 15% of the time, weighted runs created, run 127, upwards of 25 to 30 home runs with a lowish home run. He's not a big home run hitter, but he's able to do it because he's just a really, really good hitter in a hard hit rate of 37%. So we almost have to throw out what he did last year. Now, if he repeats it, then we're going to say, all right, Anthony Rendon, you're on the decline, and I don't believe that's there yet. So if he can come in with some health, maybe he's got what the Angels did last year and some players that they brought in. Maybe he gets rejuvenated a little bit and has some more extra motivation or something like that. But if we can get some vintage Anthony Rendon, which we're only a year away from that, then this is a player that will slot into that top 5. So, all right, should we get into our actual top 5 here?
Yes.
More specifically, on a per game basis, he would slot ahead of this person right here. I like him, but 1 sec. Handsome dude. We don't have to keep blocking everybody, do we? So, all right.
He and Chris Bryant are very alike.
Well, yeah.
He got traded from the Cardinals, and Chris Bryant got traded to the Rockies. And
it's kind of the opposite, but
yeah,
sure, there's a thread there. There's a couple degrees of separation. So in 2021, 255 average, 249 BABIP. These are low for him. The baseball balls and the K rate, elite level stuff. Really good, really good profile. 113 runs, weighted runs created. 100 is your kind of your average player, and when you get up to 130 or above, you're elite. So anything between that is a really good player, and he's a really good player. 34 home runs. And he did this with his highest fly ball rate of his career and the largest pull percentage of his career. Launch angle and exit velocity are the highest since like 2016. So he's swinging out of his shoes a little bit, and he's trying to pull everything and get it out. So it worked last year. How long can he keep it up as he ages a little bit? Now, what he does bring to the field, and it's not here because this is mostly offensive stuff, but he's the best defender in the league. He and Matt Chapman are the best third baseman in the league right now. He's got 10 gold gloves, 5 platinum gloves. I believe that's what gets him into the Hall of Fame. He's got these other numbers which are like a bonus, but I think it's a really good track for Mr. Arenado, and the defense is going to be a big driver of that if everything else is kind of close. So in 2022, they are expecting that average to rise on an increasing BABIP, batting average, and balls in play. Again, coming over from Colorado, that BABIP dropped. And that's what you see when you go there. It rises. When you leave Colorado, it falls. So the walk and strikeout rate. This is what he's done for a long time. No one is expecting that to change. He kind of is who he is, and that's a really good player with excellent defense. And so that's why it's easy to say we're slotting you at number 5. For him to move out of that, he's probably not going to change his profile too much. For him to drop out of the top 5, what we would probably see is someone getting into the top, like Anthony Rendon having an Anthony Rendon season. That's what would push him out. Mm-hmm. Makes sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, all right, all right. Well, I like this next guy.
If
okay.
Petro was still in the league.
Okay, he'd be really old. He'd be the oldest player in the league.
If he was 30 years old,
okay.
Would he still be the best defender?
Petro?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. He was terrific. Why not?
Well,
Buxton's up there. All right, our number 4 player right now, Alex Bregman. It's time for Alex Bregman to come back. Whenever he's played and been healthy. No, not him. No, he's not. He was like a rookie or whatever. So, but he was okay. Even if he did cheat, when the cheating was exposed and done, he was still really good. So in 2018, 2019, this was an MVP level player. That's what you get from him when he's on the field. Now in 2020 and 2021, it was kind of a mess. He didn't play. He didn't play a whole lot. So he was hurt. Now, if he can be healthy, and that's a big if, then we are looking at a top 5, probably top 2 or 3 level player here. So in 2021, 270 average, 286, and again, this is partial season here, so he didn't play a whole lot, but he's still above average when he played. His projections have him at an elite level, 26 home runs, 141 rated runs created. That really nice strikeout and walk profile here, 274 average, could be upwards of 280 or something like that. So there's a little bit of room for there, perhaps. For his career, 281, 292 BABIP, that strikeout walk profile, beautiful. Weighted runs created, elite level player. He's always been an elite level player. It's about health. At some point, the dude's going to get healthy. He's not that darn old. So this is the year, number 3 third baseman overall, or 4. 4? I think he's 4. Number 4 overall. So that's my take. You like that or no?
Cheater.
Oh, jeez. All right, fine.
How about number 3?
Number 3. This guy okay? Not just kind of a jerk, but not a cheater at least. Well, yeah, he seems to be maturing. You know what? Honestly, if you give most 23-year-olds the world and say how awesome you are and give them millions of dollars, they're probably going to act up a little bit. He seems to really be aging well and turning into a great leader. And last year was his best season offensively. So we're looking for good things out of Mr. Manny Machado once again. 2021, 290 BABIP, 278 average, 28 home runs. Not a career high. He did a few years with the Angels where he was into the 30s, but it was a really nice year. Weighted runs created. I take it back. Last year wasn't his best year ever. It was a really, really good year. His best year in a few, at least. So hard hit the ball hard 40% of the time. His projections this year have him kind of doing the same thing. Again, we know what he is. I wouldn't expect wild variance in a lot of these numbers here. So in a well above average, borderline elite level bat with 29 home runs and a terrific defender. So last year's hard hit percentage, almost exit velocity, max exit velocity, and barrel rate were all career high. So he's swinging the bat as well as he ever has. I think he can keep it going because he's kind of a youngish player. Mm-hmm. I like Manny Machado. He'll be at our number 3 spot.
I like Fernando Tatis.
I know you like Fernando Tatis. Hey, guess who's playing for the first 3 months between Machado and Tatis?
CJ?
No, that would be Machado. Between Machado and Tatis, Machado's playing. Tatis is not playing. I'm sorry.
He's good at baseball, but he's bad at motorcycling.
Exactly. Spoiler alert. All right, Rafi Devers, number 2 bat here. What a great season last year. This is a career high for him in walks, weighted runs created with 134, career high in home run to fly ball rate, and it's not even extended by any stretch here. So what we have for 2022, the Fangraphs projections have him hitting kind of the same. 280, walking 10% of the time, striking out 20% of the time, which is fine. Elite level bat with 37 home runs, not a lot of change. If he does what he did last year, yes, top 2 or 3 third baseman overall. Mm-hmm. Any questions about that? Any argument on that one? I like it.
Rafi's a good player.
Rafi's a really good player.
And he always has good seasons so far.
Not always, but the last couple years he's really starting to be consistent. It's good to see. It's easy to slot him into the top 2. But it's going to be a while before he's overtaking this number 1 player. And so I think we've had him here for a couple of years, maybe. I don't know. This is one of my favorite players anyway. So 2021, just a monster. 137 weighted runs created, 36 home runs. Nothing that says he has to slow down in the home run department. That walk and strikeout rate is beautiful. 11% of the time he's walking, 13% striking out. That's elite level stuff there. And this year, BABIP was 256, which was pretty low for him. This year they have that raising a little bit, which could help his average. So could he be in that 275, 280 area? Walk and strikeout rate at his point in his career are pretty established, but weighted runs created 142. I mean, they are predicting MVP level performance for him, which makes sense because he's been top 5 MVP like the last 5 years, 4 or 5 years.
How long has he been playing?
2014, I think, was his rookie season.
Him and Betts.
Yeah, right. And so he's really been ever since he came up. He was good, and then now he's been elite level. So it's on Cleveland, so not many people notice. But astute listeners listeners of CNT have been recognizing this for a while here. So Jose Ramirez, elite level player, and I don't see any reason for that to change this year either. So we're going to stick him at number 1. Guardians have to have something to look forward to, and there it is, right there. Bieber and Ramirez. Terrific. There we go. So that concludes our third baseman. Those are our top 5. We'll come back at you with some shortstops. But yeah, you'll leave comments. What do you think? This good list? We missed anybody? Anybody needs to be changed around? I don't know. I like it, but maybe you don't, and let us know.
Matt Chapman should be in there in the honorable mention.
He's been declining for a couple of years. He was just outside that honorable mention. We can't do all the third basemen, so we got to cut it off at some point. And that cutoff was, I'm afraid, Matt Chapman. So he was just outside of that. So I know. I'm sorry. That's what we got for you. You have a good one. Bye.